99X, it's Barnes and Leslie. We are your Morning X. Celebrity Sleaze time, presented by McDonald's. The best part about working at McDonald's, the Diet Coke, number one, and of course, the people.
Barnes, one of the most iconic films and one of the most iconic scenes in the history of filmmaking came from the movie Jaws.
100.
Remember?
Yep.
Well, we learned the sad news over the weekend that the first victim in the Jaws film has died at the age of 77, Susan Backlinie, and I guess it was unexpected. Her husband, Harvey Swindell, said it was unexpected. She was the most amazing person that I've ever met. If you remember, Spielberg wanted like a real stunt person, and she was a ranked swimmer, she was a mermaid, an animal trainer, and spent hours a day filming Jaws and filming this one scene. Well, the New York Post was able to get this unbelievable interview from one of the biggest shows in the country. I don't know how they did it, but this was an interview that Susan did with this show talking about Jaws.
Explain, though, how they got you to thrash around and how they hooked you up and all that.
Okay, what they did was there were some pilings about 50 yards out on the beach, and they ran cables all the way from the beach out to the pilings and through shivs. And then they put me in between the two pilings, and they had guys on the beach, about 5 or 6 on each cable. And we marked lines on the beach, and they would pull me right to the edge of the frame on either side. And then the guys just ran back and forth from mark to mark.
Wow.
How could they even get a clip like that?
From the Morning X.
So here's what I think happened. The New York Post thinks that was recent, but that aired a few months ago on Best of the Morning X, and then it goes to podcast. So I think that they didn't pay attention to the text in the block that says this was from 25 years ago.
I love that the Morning X with Barnes and Leslie is in the New York Post.
With a question from Jimmy.
Now, they've just put a link to the podcast. That would.
Oh, did they not? Oh, come on, New York Post.
You know what to say, though? Like, how incredible is Steven Spielberg? Because he was telling her, when the scene is done, I want everyone under their seats.
Yeah. I mean, he wanted someone who could just swim second nature. So when they were doing all the, pulling her around with those ropes, it's a funny visualization of a massive pop culture moment that was burned into my mind. I wanted nothing to do with the ocean after seeing that.
What an iconic scene. Little rock news, Scott Stapp posting a cryptic message about leaving an opponent, quote, with their dignity. After his wife Jacqueline filed for divorce, on Saturday, he shared a sermon from T.D. Jakes on his Instagram. Speak without being offensive, listen without being defensive, and always leave your opponent with their dignity. That was his message. Quote, out of respect for their family, Scott intends to navigate this difficult time privately. They were married for 18 years. I hate that because there's children involved. And, he lives here in Nashville now.
Well, it couldn't be better timing for him, because what's better than a rock star getting a divorce and then going on tour? This should be an interesting tour. I say that jokingly, but of all the times, he won't be very lonely.
Can you take me higher?
They just did that big cruise, and all the articles I read are totally making fun of them. They're like the band that the world loves to hate, but yet it was a cruise ship full of people.
Oh, but, people absolutely love them.
It's a love-hate in the weirdest way.
So, this is another strange story about a rock star, our friend Gavin Rossdale. If you look at page6.com, there's a story about Gavin dating a lookalike from his ex-wife, Gwen. Apparently, it's spot on. The woman's name is Ozana, with an X. She's a singer from Albania. Maybe they met on tour. She's 35 years old. Based on the pictures taken from their Mexican vacation last week, she could totally pass for a young Gwen Stefani.
Kind of shocking. And he's how old? 50, 8?
I don't know.
She's 36? 30, what'd you say, 35?
She's 35, yeah.
I saw the photo. It looks like a vacation photo from 20 years ago.
Yikes.
With Gwen Stefani. Yikes.
Kelly Osbourne says she loves plastic surgery, just not when it comes to her own face. I'm a huge fan of plastic surgery. What it does for people is amazing. Then she says she's seen far too many times how painful the recovery can be. Quote, I watched my mom go through every recovery from everything she's ever done, and it looks awful. Yeah, because, her mom, Sharon Osbourne, has had lots of plastic surgery.
I love her quote. I love plastic surgery on other people because it makes you look better to me. Thank you.
This is kind of interesting. Oprah Winfrey taking responsibility for her contributions to diet culture and sharing her plans to, quote unquote, do better. At an event she hosted with Weight Watchers, it was called Making the Shift, a new way to think about weight. She talked about declaring that she is done letting diet culture and the shame that comes with it rule her life. So many of us have internalized about diet culture and the body standards that have caused us so much shame. Yeah, I guess the event featuring conversations with Rebel Wilson, Busy Phillips, Amber Riley. We've been criticized, we've been scrutinized, we've been shamed. Well, it's interesting because didn't she leave Weight Watchers and then do one of the diet pills? I thought maybe.
Well, I don't think she did that as an endorsement.
Yeah, maybe just...
Yeah, I mean, she talked about all the things she's been. She's also been paid. So she's been paid, what? I mean, massive amounts of money from Weight Watchers. And then the disc came out, recently about she did something else to lose weight.
Did something else to lose a lot of weight. Martha Stewart recently interviewed Donna Kelsey and was told, don't ask about Taylor Swift and Travis. But of course, Martha apparently felt she had to mention Taylor Swift. Quote, I know I was begged not to mention Taylor Swift, but I just want to say you always looked so great with her in the box when she was at the games with you.
Come on.
She got it in there, right?
But
and
why?
Then, of course, Donna Kelsey praised Taylor as a lovely person and praised the couple as both being caring individuals.
No disrespect, but if you're Donna Kelsey, you're getting asked to be interviewed for those reasons.
I know.
To talk about Taylor Swift and your sons.
I do love this, though. She was saying that her sons shower her with gifts like jewelry and vacations to Europe for Mother's Day. Well, of course.
Life is good if you're a Kelsey.
They're gazillionaires. NBC rolling out the red carpet to celebrate Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary. Did you know it's been 50 years?
No, I thought it'd been longer, actually.
I guess it's going to air next year because they're kind of wrapping up this year and the 49th season with Jake Gyllenhaal on deck for May 18th for the finale. Wow, 50 years. That's incredible. Kimora Lee Simmons was not down with her daughter, Aoki, dating a man 40 plus years older than her.
Wow.
Did you see that?
No, 40 plus?
Well, she posted pictures of her brief fling with Vittoria Asaf. He's 65, she's 21.
Come on.
Now that it's over, Kimora has spoken out saying, she's a young, pretty girl. I think we don't think the toads that we may kiss are going to be broadcast as a thing. However, Aoki had a response on Friday. She posted this quote from Nicole LaPera saying, good girl conditioning sends a clear message. Don't be too much or want too much. It's why so many women tolerate misery. May we teach young girls to say no clearly and to disappoint people regularly. May we free her from the generational cycle of being polite and easy. That was interesting. And finally, did you know all these years we've been saying Giselle's name incorrectly? Gisele Bündchen?
No.
An old clip, I guess, she's been in the public eye for years. Well, on Conan back in 2005, this clip has resurfaced explaining how people have been mispronouncing her name.
We say I in the end of the L. Here you eat the I. You only say Giselle.
Okay.
This is the American way, I guess.
Right.
So I'll go to castings, I'll be, what's your name? Gisele. What's your name?
Right.
Gisele. So I'll be like, this is not a difficult name. So I would I would just write it down. And they'll be like, Giselle. I'm like, no, not Giselle, Gisele.
Gisele?
I never said Gisele. I've always said Giselle.
Yeah, no one has said, even in the roast, did they say Gisele?
No, I don't know
No.
why that's coming up after all these years. That's your Celebrity Sleaze.